Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Frylon, and here you guys know what to do. It's always like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get straight into the video. So the first story, Chelsea transfer target rejects Stamford Bridge move despite Timo Werner's statement. And then their little headline below it, Chelsea being rejected by one of their transfer targets. And if we scroll down, we can see who this target is. And it's not one that I thought we'd be linked with, but it is Juventus ace Miralem Pjanic. And that's a weird one because if you don't know Pjanic, he plays as a centre midfield player and he is 30 years old. And he turned down a move to PSG, who came in for him, and also Chelsea reportedly. I'm just very confused why we went for Pjanic. It's a weird one because, Juventus are after Jorginho. So if, they wanted Jorginho and we wanted Pjanic, why couldn't we work something out there? And personally, I think Jorginho is much higher value than Pjanic because he's older. And personally, I just think like Jorginho, he's a lot more valuable to Chelsea than I think Pjanic is to Juventus. Now, I could be wrong there. Everyone has their opinions, but personally, that's how I feel on it. They're claiming that he's only willing to leave his Serie side if Barcelona come calling. They value him at 45 million, which I've seen that figure put around for Jorginho, which is quite a weird one because, if they're valued about the same, then why wouldn't we be able to sort of swap deal if that's what we wanted, which is just less than double what they paid Roma for the Bosnian 4 years ago. Chelsea will now likely turn their attention to other targets as they look to continue bolstering their ranks. The addition of Werner will substantially enhance their attacking threat and take a lot of the burden off the shoulders of Tammy Abraham, which I think we need. We saw Tammy hit like 13 goals this season in the league, I think it is, and then fell off towards the end because he was struggling with fitness and injuries. So having a player like Timo Werner to come in is just beautiful. Well done from the Chelsea board. And from a Blues midfielder, Michael Ballack thinks the pair would be a perfect fit, which I do think is true. I think Tammy and Timo Werner in the same team could be very good. Same goes for Timo Werner and Giroud, because Giroud is such a good link-up player. Like Hazard even said it himself, and I could really see, Giroud like nodding it on for Timo Werner to go bursting past the last defender with his blistering pace and finish neatly into the bottom corner. So I could really see that happening. Let's just go take a look at Pjanic before we go onto the next story. And as you can see, he's obviously at Juventus. His contract expires in 2023, so there's no rush to sell him. Valued at about 45 million, which is probably fair, although he is 30 years old, so you can make a case for him maybe being worth a little bit less. This season he's played 22 games, got 3 goals, 4 assists, which is decent. You're talking 7 goal involvements in 22 games. It's roughly a goal involvement every third game, so that is not bad at all. Could be better. It's probably higher than Jorginho's, so maybe that's why we were looking at him. But for a 30-year-old, it's a little bit weird. But yeah, in general, this season he's been all right. He got a goal every 579 minutes. Not much to add on Pjanic, really. Like, he's a good player, but I don't think it's an area we need to improve on. We've got Mason can play there, Hakim Ziyech can play there, Jorginho can play there, Billy Gilmore, Kovacic, Kante. That's 6 players that can play in the centre midfield role that he does play in. As you can see here, main position, central midfield, can play defensive mid and attacking mid. It's possible that we would be using him as an attacking midfielder because, we've been talking about getting Kai Havertz in, but if it's Kai Havertz for, 80 plus million, 90 plus million, or Pjanic for 45 million, I'd rather us just get rid of Pjanic, keep going for Kai Havertz. So a bit of a weird one, but that is the story. Apparently he's not interested in coming to us. And then the next story is about Ben Chilwell, and Manchester City joined Chelsea in the race for Leicester defender Ben Chilwell, with Pep Guardiola ready to swoop should he become available at the right price. So they're apparently eyeing up a move for him. The champions joined Chelsea in the race to sign a left back. He's looking to strengthen the fullback spot for next season. They value him at around 85 million, and he is yet to ask to leave the club, but we've heard reports that he's eager to join Chelsea and has sort of, had a word with Brendan Rodgers on that, if we come calling, he'd like to go, basically. But as we know, Manchester City being in the race now, I guess, does cause more problems. A lot of Chelsea fans I have seen saying basically like, good, like let them go for him, let them pay like the 80 million that Leicester want. And that means that we can get Tagliafico for 22.4 million, which would be absolutely lovely. I'd be fine with that situation. It does concern me a little bit just because I know that Frank Lampard is very, very eager to get Ben Chilwell. And if he's very eager, then there's a part of me that, you know, just wants to trust him and believe in what he wants, because clearly he's got good ideas. He's brought in Hakim Ziyech, who is going to be amazing, to Timo Werner, who's going to be amazing. If he wants Ben Chilwell and he thinks he's up to that standard, then maybe we need to listen to him. And maybe he sees, you know, an area he can improve in his game, or he thinks he can coach him into being even better than he has been across the last couple of seasons for Leicester. So, you know what, you've got to trust your manager, you've got to trust Frank. A lot of Chelsea fans have complained that the board haven't done that over the recent seasons. So if the board aren't doing it, then us Chelsea fans really do need to. But it said that the Foxes value Chilwell higher than they did Harry Maguire, who was sold for 80 million last summer. They want around 85 million for their academy product, although reports have suggested that Chelsea believe the coronavirus crisis will help lower his price tag this summer. So, you know, it's possible that we will get Ben Chilwell for, if 85 million is, you know, the top tier, that's what they want from him. Maybe we'd be able to get him for, I think the lowest we'll see Ben Chilwell go is about 60 million, maybe somewhere between 55 to 60 million. I think that would be a sweet spot, but anything less than that, I don't think we're getting. And when you consider, you know, half of that price and then some is Tagliafico, then I would much rather get him. You know, you could get Alex Telles and Tagliafico for the price of Ben Chilwell at that point, and that just sounds so much better to me. Of course, you know, you've got to convince the players to join, and there's wages and stuff like that involved. But personally, I would just much rather us go for Tagliafico. But we'll see how this one plays out. Maybe City will end up going for him, and it'll be a sort of blessing in disguise for us Chelsea fans. And then something I wanted to touch on at the end of this video is Chelsea have a 3-year plan geared around investment to challenge Europe's elite again, with Abramovich ready to be bolder in the transfer market. So that alone is a great claim. But then the second section here, first year to stabilise the squad, which I think is a good plan. You know, that's what's being set in place at the moment. So that's to get rid of a lot of the deadwood, which is most likely going to happen this season. Your Drinkwater, your Bakayoko, maybe Barkley, and plenty of other players, Pedro, Willian, that are leaving. Second year to challenge for honours. So that'll be, you know, trying to get up there in the Premier League, trying to maybe get third, second, depending on how Liverpool and City end up doing. We want to be right up there with them and not have a, you know, a massive point gap, like try and challenge them to keep that gap closed. And then in the third year to win titles. So that's a 3-year plan for us to go from, you know, sitting around like Champions League spots, sitting fourth, to going right back up to the top again. And I think we're starting off really well. We've got Hakim Ziyech, so that's, I think he's 27 years old. That's at least like 5 years of a top winger being at our club that can help us score goals, and crucial goals at that. You've got Timo Werner, who of course is a goal scoring machine, going to come to Chelsea, score lots of goals, going to work brilliantly with this squad. He's also young, he's 24 years old, so we've got plenty of time. You know, if it's a 3-year plan, give us like a 10-year plan and we could still have Timo Werner involved in the squad. So very, very good start to this. This is why we seem to be looking more towards the younger players. So, you know, your Kai Havertz, your Jadon Sancho, because at the moment we want to stabilise it. So we want to get good players in, and we want to make sure that they integrate with the squad well. Second year, we want them to, you know, be familiar with the squad, working well, gelling really, really well together, and then, you know, be up and around, you know, first, second spots, trying to keep it close. And then third year, up on top. You know, we want to be going in the Champions League, we want to be getting past the quarters, past the semis, into the final, and see if we can win it. That'd be absolutely amazing to win the Champions League within the next 3 years or so. And of course, the Premier League. We need to be back on top again. Liverpool, I could see Liverpool struggling this next season just because they've got, you know, winning the title takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot of mental capacity and a lot of physical capacity. Of course, this whole pandemic has given everyone a long break, so maybe that will help, to be fair, everyone, but Liverpool specifically, because they've had such a grueling season to keep themselves at the top. So they've done well there, and I think this break is only really going to help them. So maybe this will mean that next season they're going to be able to do a similar thing again, but we need to be at our best to try and challenge them for that. City definitely fell off a bit this season. I'm sure they'll be trying to get back on top with some big statement signings, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some massive players go to City again, and a few of them leave. You know, like Sane's going to be leaving most likely. There's definitely a few areas that they could tweak a little bit to make sure that they're back on top again, and we need to be, you know, up competing with them like that. So Timo Werner's a great start, Hakim Ziyech a great start. Jadon Sancho would be another great addition, and I think would probably be most of the signings that we'd need. You know, in all situations going well, you know, everyone gels together, everyone plays good football together. That could be a deadly squad. And then you bring in maybe in the second year, you bring in a nice centre back that could do well. Of course, we need to sign a left back this season, so that'd be one that we need to sort out this season in terms of stabilising the squad. And then maybe into the second year, you know, if we're seeing, you know, Kepa still isn't looking like the keeper we need, Kepa gets put away, another keeper brought in, and then that third season is going to be a big one. That's where all the players are going to have to, you know, come together and going to have the best seasons possible for us to be able to get right up there, win the Premier League again, challenge for the Champions League, win that ideally, FA Cups, Carabao Cups. You know, we need to be hitting doubles, trebles, quadruples if we can. That would be absolutely lovely. And it's good to hear that Abramovich is ready to be bolder in the market, which means no more, you know, signing Danny Drinkwaters, Bakayokos, no more dragging out transfers for too long. It's going to be more of a case of what we've seen this season with, you know, during the off season. A little different during the pandemic because, you know, you can make these deals without players wanting to just be respectful to their clubs and stuff like that and not talk transfers during the middle of the season. But we need to be, before the transfer window opens, we need to be getting our deals done. We need to get talks happening so that we can get our players ready. No one else can sort of get into a bidding war with us for them because they don't even know we're doing these deals. Like we saw with Timo Werner. Liverpool thought they were all good to get him, and then all of a sudden they're like, you know what, we might not be able to afford it, and then Chelsea like, bam, straight in there, and they put a bid in, and we're like, yep, we'll pay the full release clause, we'll give you this contract, we'll give you this, you're going to be an important player, and he's like, well, yeah, that sounds pretty sick, I'll join you. So we need to be a little more like that, and I think we're going to see that over the next few years. So it's a very, very exciting time to be a Chelsea fan. Hopefully you guys are excited. I certainly am. That's going to be the end of this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like on this video. If you've got any questions that you'd like me to answer, leave them down in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.